What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and our 2019 college football predictions continue here on our SEC football channel as we look at 5 different sources. Tennessee is up next, and this might be the team with the biggest discrepancy when you look at the different sources. It's really all over the place, and I think that goes to tell you that it's very tough to predict what this Tennessee team is going to do. But one thing I think some of the other sources are doing is they are not giving enough credit to Vanderbilt and Kentucky, and they're assuming that those are wins for Tennessee, assuming that they're going to win some other games, and I think that's why you see some pretty high record predictions for this Tennessee team. Not that I think they're going to be bad, I just think the competition might be a little tougher than what some people might think. But this is the schedule. They play BYU in the non-conference. That's not a guaranteed win. BYU's a pretty solid team, return their quarterback. So that'll be an interesting matchup. The game's at home for Tennessee. I like them to win that game, but still, it's not going to be easy. You have Florida on the road, Alabama on the road. I think Kentucky on the road is going to be tough. You got the revenge factor there for the Wildcats. Missouri is on the road. Those are 4 really tough games, in my opinion, in the SEC. And then Georgia's there as well. That's a home game, but it's going to be really tough for Tennessee to win that game. Then you have Mississippi State, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. Those 3 games will be not easy wins for Tennessee by any means. So that's why I think people maybe underestimate this schedule. This is a pretty tough schedule for the Vols this year. So our 5 different sources, we're going to give you our predictions from the main channel, our NCAA football simulation. I'll tell you what Athlon said about this team, the FBI, and the Vegas win total for Tennessee. I've got them at 6-6. I think they improve. I think they get to a bowl game. And if you want to get more on our predictions for Tennessee, head over to the main channel. We go through the schedule, break it down game by game, and go a lot more in detail for this team. But yeah, I think they go 6-6. I think they win the 4 non-conference games, get a couple of wins in the SEC. But that's about it. I mean, I think 7-5 is possible. I feel confident that they'll get to a bowl game. I think they will get to at least 6-6. So I would say it's more likely they go 7-5 than it is that they go 5-7. But I'm not going to get overly optimistic about this team. So 6-6 is my prediction. But maybe 7-5. I was kind of leaning, trying to figure out between those two when I did my prediction. But how about our NCAA football simulation? They have this team at 5-7. Yes, 5-7. So they were much, much lower than any of the sources you're going to see here. Maybe the game knows something. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's totally off the mark. Their only conference win in that simulation was actually on the road at Missouri. So that was kind of strange as well. It doesn't exactly add up, but sometimes things don't go like you would expect in college football. So we'll see. That would be missing out on a bowl game again. I think they at least get to 6-6, but our simulation not as high on them. But the good news, if you're a Tennessee fan, if you watch that simulation, is every game was really, really close. I mean, they took Alabama down to the wire. They were close against Georgia, so it's not like they were getting blown out. A lot of those games could have went the other way really easily. And if you want to see the scores, the highlights, all of that, you can check that out over on our main channel, and we'll probably be reposting it here as well. Athlon has Tennessee a little bit higher at 7-5. Again, I said I was close to going with 7-5, but decided to go 6-6. But yeah, they have them going 3-5 in the SEC. They don't have the game by game predictions, but they do have them losing to South Carolina, because and the reason I know that is because Tennessee and South Carolina were tied at 3-5 in the conference, and they had South Carolina ahead of Tennessee. So that's why we know that. So I'm assuming they have them beating Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and then maybe Mississippi State. I don't know. The FBI for Tennessee has them at 8-4. The FBI really likes this Tennessee team. I mean, they really, really like them. It's crazy. If you go look at it, and we broke it down here on the channel, if you want to go back and watch that video, they're favored in 9 of their 12 games, according to the FBI. They're favored against Mississippi State. They're favored big against BYU. Favored big against Vanderbilt. They're at 61% against Kentucky. A slight favorite on the road at Missouri. So it's very interesting to see how much the FBI likes this team. I really don't know, what all factors into that. But yeah, they have them at 8-4. And again, if you go game by game, they would have them at 9-3. Vegas, the over/under win total is at 6.5. So that's what I'm talking about. We're all the way from 5-7 up to 8-4. All 4 of our predictions that we have shown you here are different. I don't know if we've had a team where all four were different. We have 5 and 7, 6 and 6, 7 and 5, 8 and 4. Vegas is kind of right in the middle of that at 6.5. Actually, that is right in the middle. How crazy is that? So Tennessee really is tough to figure out. And if you're going to bet on this team, I mean, that's a tough bet because, yeah, they could go 7 and 5, but they could easily go 6 and 6. I would stay away from this one. Vegas knows what they're doing, and I don't know which way they might be trying to trick people. Maybe they're trying to trick people into going with 7 and 5, going over, because they think they'll actually go 6 and 6. I don't know. It's interesting, though, to see that these numbers were really all over the place. And, again, Vegas was right there in the middle. So what do you think about Tennessee? I want your predictions. Leave them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more here on our SEC Football channel.